What's up, everybody? Nathanael Morton here at NathanaelMorton.com, helping you build an unstoppable body and mind. And in today's video, we are straight out of the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and we are going to be running 111.5 miles with absolutely no training. Now, if you're not familiar with David Goggins, and before you think that I am a nut for doing this challenge, let me remind you of a few achievements that David Goggins has on his track record. David Goggins is a retired Navy SEAL who is widely considered by many to be the toughest man alive on the planet today. He once ran 8 100-mile races in 8 consecutive back-to-back weekends. He once held the world record for pull-ups with 4,030 pull-ups done in 24 hours. He once ran over 7,000 miles in a single year, which is equivalent to running 267 marathons. And ladies and gentlemen, this man once ran 205 miles in 39 hours straight without stopping. Imagine just trying to stay awake for 39 hours straight. This man was running 39 hours straight, 205 miles. The least that I could do to try to build a little bit of David Goggins' mindset within myself is do his weekly challenge and try to run 111.5 miles with absolutely no practice.
The younger generation quits. Not everybody. So I gotta put that. People get their butt hurt. So not everybody. Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. You did this wrong, or they get yelled at. It's so easy to be great nowadays because everybody else is, most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it, but still do it. People have a hard thing understand. I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, it doesn't anymore, is people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? I don't want to take showers and eat either. I hate that too. That's life, man. It wasn't until I changed that mentality that I became somebody. I hated going to school. So guess what? I was dumb as shit. That's what 1 + 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. That's what people don't understand. By me running, I am callous in my mind. I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life.
What's going on, guys? It is December 23rd and day 1 of the Goggins Challenge, where today I'll be running 15 miles. Now, I do want to let you know that back in high school, I ran cross country for 2 years, and my best time for a 5K was 17 minutes and 42 seconds. However, that was over 10 years ago, and I've never run more than 6 miles in my life. So, safe to say, the odds are in my favor. Now, as I run, I'll be listening to David Goggins' audiobook, Can't Hurt Me, in my headphones, and hopefully that can get me hyped up for this run. I don't think this is gonna be hard. However, I think that the next couple days, I'll be extremely sore, and I have 20 miles tomorrow. I think that will be hard, and I think from here on out, my body and my legs are just gonna be like, what are you doing? And the rest of the week is gonna be hard, but today, I think this is gonna be cake.
Chapter 1. I should have been a statistic. We found hell in a beautiful neighborhood. In 1981, Williamsville offered the tastiest real estate in Buffalo, New York. Set ambitious goals before each workout, and let those past victories carry you to new personal bests. If it's a run or bike ride, include some time to do interval work, and challenge yourself to beat your best mile split.
Ladies and gentlemen, completed the first run. So let's be honest about how the run went. If I can recall correctly, before I started the run, I actually said something that might have been a little bit unwise. I think this is gonna be cake. Wait, come again? I think this is gonna be cake. Yeah, probably not a smart thing to say. This run was not easy in the slightest. I don't know why I thought this run was going to be easy. Maybe because David Goggins himself has run 205 miles in 39 hours straight, so I thought that 15 miles should not be that far. However, I've never run more than 6 miles in my life. I haven't run in years, and I did no training whatsoever up until this point. So why would I think it was going to be easy? Anyways, things that went well. It was sunny outside, so it was really nice running weather. I saw a lot of nice people. I saw a few squirrels that looked very friendly. Now for the negatives. Negative number 1. I ran this whole thing in Roshis, which really hurt my feet. I should probably use running shoes. However, I don't run, so I don't have any. So that was negative number 1. My feet actually really started to hurt around mile 8. Negative number 2. In between miles 10 and 11 is when I really started to notice that my legs were really starting to hurt. And I thought to myself, this is only day 1 of this challenge, and I am running 15 miles. There are 3 more days which I have to run more than 15 miles. There are 6 more days total for this challenge. So I've got a long way to go, and that is the one time in my mind that I thought to myself, am I going to be able to do it? And then I thought, you know what? I am going to be able to do it. Let's just finish this 15 miles, and then I got 20 miles tomorrow. I'm gonna dig deep, and I'm gonna pull something out of me. I know I can do it. It's just, it sucks in this moment right now as I am running. But as soon as I am done running and I hydrate myself, I get some Gatorade, I get some food, and I get my energy levels back up, I will be able to dig deep and pull something out of me and think about why I am actually doing this video in the first place. But anyways, what I'm going to do right now so that I feel a little less terrible tomorrow when I wake up is I'm going to stretch for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to get in an ice bath. What's going on, guys, and welcome to day 2 of running 111.5 miles with absolutely no training. Today I am running 20 miles, and we are in good spirits because I drank a lot of water yesterday. I drank a lot of Powerade yesterday, and I ate a lot of healthy, nutritious food, aka Reese's Puffs. So we should have good nutrition, and we should be hydrated for this run. 20 miles. Yesterday was 15 miles. Today it's 20. Mile 1 complete. 19 more to go. Mile 2 down. My legs hurt. My feet hurt. Somebody tell Santa Claus I need some new running shoes for Christmas. 3 miles down. I really have no words. 17 left. Mile 4 down. 16 to go. A lot of people have been asking me, why are you even doing this? What is the point of running 111.5 miles with no training? I just want to see if I can do it. Either you're soft or you're hard. Spent way too much time in this life being soft. I'm hard now. Mile 5, down. Most I've ever ran in my life was 15 miles. And that was yesterday. And now I got 15 more to go. Let's get it. Mile 6 down, 14 left. Mile 7 down. In the famous words of Eric Thomas, pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. We'll know what that something else is. Success, baby. Mile 8 down. Mile 9 down. Mile 10 down. I'm not checking in anymore, because to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to dig deep to get home, because now I gotta turn around and go 10 miles in that direction. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got done running 20 miles, and I must say, that was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do in my life. I'm not even going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to talk about how tough I am or anything like that, because I wanted to quit every step of the way on the way back. But obviously I wouldn't let myself quit, but literally I was running so slow. A few grandmas in walkers passed me as I was running. Good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas. What a beautiful day to run 14 miles after running 20 miles after running 15 miles. My stats from yesterday were 20.01 miles, not 20.1, 3 hours, 52 minutes and 39 seconds, average pace, 11 minutes and 36 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I was trying to go faster. I kept kicking it in gear. Come on, baby. I would not go faster. My body literally would not go faster. I tried. 3,300 calories burned and 804 feet gained in elevation. So the main thing that I have noticed so far after running 15 miles and then 20 miles is after running 15 miles on day one, I was not that sore. I was a little bit sore, but I woke up the next day ready to run 20 miles. Guys, after my 20-mile run, I drove home. It's only like a 5-minute drive. I could barely get out of my car. It took me 10 minutes to get up the steps, and I'm telling you, as I was walking around yesterday, I had to walk so gingerly. I can't even really explain. You would have to see how I was walking for me to explain to you how sore I actually was. So 15 miles didn't make me very sore. 20 miles completely kicked my butt and made me so sore to the point where I don't even really know how I'm going to run today. But as soon as I begin to run, I think that I'll get warmed up. And when I say run, I mean basically try to run, but a few ladies will pass me. A few snails will be in front of me. Rocky from SpongeBob will probably get past me. But anyways, I have to say that I have never been more excited to run 14 miles in my life. Please, anything but 20. Anything but 20. And after today, I have 11 miles tomorrow, which, oh my goodness, 11 miles, that seems so short after running 20 miles. So we're going to get it done, and I will see you guys after the run. Oh yeah, guys, before I forget, Santa Claus came through. I'm no longer running 20 miles in some Roshis. Look, we had to get new running shoes. These are the Dad Shoe 5000. Actually, they're called like the Hoka Bondi 5s. And some people might argue that these aren't running shoes. However, if you see how much padding is on the bottom, I really don't care. I want pillows on my feet because my feet hurt so bad. So I'll let you know how the shoes went, and we will see you soon. And it was at that point, ladies and gentlemen, during my 14-mile run on Christmas morning, that I realized that I had gotten myself into deep trouble, and that this was going to be the hardest thing that I was ever going to have to do in my life. So I actually didn't record any more videos but after that one that you just saw. I realized that in order for me to finish this challenge, I'm going to have to go deep within myself, deep within my mindset, and pull out whatever animal I can find in order for me to complete this challenge and run the rest of the miles. And quite frankly, I didn't want to be sitting there recording videos and doing Instagram stories. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to run and then go to sleep. Run, finish my miles, rest and recover, go to sleep. That is all that I wanted to do. So I didn't record any more videos, and because of that, other than me duct taping my ankles because I had shin splints, and me showing you the blisters and the scratches on my legs from running with knee sleeves, other than little videos like that and me talking about how this run was pure agony. That was pure agony. Pure torture. Other than that, I didn't record any more videos, and because of that, I'm going to give you a summary here after the fact. I am now done with the entire challenge. I did complete it. Spoiler alert. I'm going to give you a summary of how the rest of the week went, but I'll give you a hint. It was torture. So, on Christmas Day, I actually ended up completing that 14-mile run at an average pace of 11 minutes and 48 seconds. Now, that is not extremely fast. By no means am I Lightning McQueen. However, it is not extremely slow for how sore I felt and compared to the rest of the runs that week. Ladies and gentlemen, I was sore, but I was not injured. I was sore, but I was not injured. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was sore. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, I was straight up injured. I was straight up, you should not be running, let alone 11 miles and 16 miles and 14 miles and 19 miles. However, of course, we finished the challenge. But on Thursday, the day that is supposed to be the easiest run, I have 11 miles. It's not 20 miles. It's not 16 miles. It's not even 14. It's 11 miles. It's a little pipsqueak. I'm about to step on it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I started running at about mile 1 or 2, I got shin splints. And I have never had shin splints before, but if you have had shin splints before, you know they are not fun, let alone running 11 miles on shin splints and then the next day 16 miles and then 11 miles again and then 19 miles with shin splints. So Thursday was the beginning of the shin splints and they pretty much lasted there on out. Each night I would lay in bed and I would pray, please let me wake up tomorrow morning without shin splints, but it didn't happen. So what I did to combat the shin splints was I got duct tape and I wrapped duct tape around my shins and then down around my feet so that my feet couldn't flex, because every time my feet would flex, it would really hurt my shins. So if I just duct taped it so my feet and my shin couldn't move, then I'd be running with my hip flexors and my shins wouldn't hurt so bad. I actually got this from David Goggins, so don't call me crazy. David Goggins is crazy and he's a beast, and I felt like if I had duct tape, I would be a beast. So it didn't really work the same. I'm not really as beastly as David Goggins, but it gave me that mindset, you know? So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I ran with duct tape on my feet. On Saturday and Sunday, my knees hurt so bad, so I ran with knee sleeves around my knees. Like knee sleeves like that you do a back squat with, like a barbell squat. I put knee sleeves on my knees, which actually worked extremely well. My knees didn't hurt nearly as bad, but because I ran 19 miles and 16 miles with knee sleeves, I got really bad brush burns and blisters and scratches all up and down my legs. So there was that, but I'd much rather have brush burns and blisters and scratches than my knees hurt for 3 hours as I run 19 miles. Now, there is one more thing that I must confess. And at first, I was a little bit ashamed of it, but I literally laid it all out on the trail. I literally could not have gone faster if I wanted to. But Saturday, I had a 16-mile run, and then I was supposed to wait a few hours and then do a 4-mile run. I did the 16-mile run. I waited a few hours. When it came time for me to do the 4-mile run, ladies and gentlemen, I could not move. My body was so stiff after running the miles in the morning and then going out and trying to run again. My body was so stiff that I literally could not run. So I walked 4 miles after the 16 miles on Saturday. When it came to Sunday, same thing. I tried to run. I tried to run. My body was so beat up. My lower back, my knees, my shins, my ankles, my feet, everything, my hips. This sucks. It's been raining for the last 2 hours. I'm cold. I'm wet. I still got 6 miles left. My body hurts all over. Feet hurt, ankles hurt, knees hurt, hips hurt, my lower back hurts. But hey, I'm about to be done. Just gotta push it through. Everything was so beat up that I literally could not physically run. So I walked in this really ugly limp that made people look at me like I had 10 heads. So I limped 19 miles over the course of 6 hours in the rain on Sunday to finish it out. And that was the worst day. That was the worst day because I had a rain jacket and the sun came out, and then I threw my rain jacket on the side. I said, I'm too hot. I'm starting to sweat. I don't need this rain jacket anymore. Then I go 2 more miles and I have a hoodie on, and then it starts to rain again. So literally 3 miles into my 19-mile limp walk on Sunday, it starts to rain, and it literally did not stop raining for 6 hours. I was like, what is going on? Why is it raining for 6 hours? The running gods did that to me on purpose to make my mindset tougher. It would not stop raining, so I was soaked. I was drenched down to my core. I was cold. I was literally about to cry. I was literally whimpering and whining because it hurt so bad. I felt like a wounded soldier, literally. I was limping, I was walking, and it was pure torture and pure agony. However, I am so grateful that I went through that because I am done now, and now I can say I went through that, and I got the chance to experience that. I got the chance to experience the worst pain that I had ever felt in my life, and I kept going through it, and I finished. That's a really good feeling. So, the conclusions of this entire video and this entire challenge are a few things. Number 1, if you are ever going to get into running, please start small first. Don't go out and try to run 20 miles at once or 111 miles in a week. Start with a small goal and get a little bit better and a little bit better and go a little bit farther and farther every single run. Don't start trying to eat the whole hoagie. Take a little bite. Enjoy that bite, chew it, and then go for your next bite. So if you're going to run, start small and then increase your goals as you go on. Number 2, if you're going to run, please get some running shoes. Please get some running shoes. I think that might have been my number 1 mistake, was running my first 35 miles in shoes that basically made my feet hurt for the rest of the week. When you're running, you can't hide. It's not like you can run on your hands. You're on your feet the entire time. So my feet, literally every step was like somebody punching me in my feet. And I think if I would have had running shoes for the first 2 days, they wouldn't have hurt that bad. But guys, the main conclusion that I came to through doing this challenge and through running all of these miles and through going through the physical pain and torture and agony of beating up on my feet and my ankles and my knees and my hips and my butt cheeks and my lower back, the main conclusion that I came to is that this run was a metaphor for my life. And you see, everything in life that is valuable requires you to go through some short-term pain in order to gain long-term pleasure. In order for me to gain the long-term pleasure of making this YouTube video, of knowing in my heart that I completed this challenge, of being able to tell my friends and family, hey, I'm excited that I completed this challenge. In order for me to gain the long-term pleasures that come from completing the 111.5 miles, I have to go through the week of beating up on my feet and my ankles and my knees and my hips and my lower back. I have to go through walking in the rain and almost crying because I'm limping 19 miles. I have to go through the 4 hours of pain on this day and the 3 hours that it took to run on this day and the 6 hours that it took to walk the last day. I have to go through that. And I was thinking about that the entire time. Everything that is valuable is on the other side of short-term pain. It's only a week of my life that I'm going to be running. It's only a week of my life. But after I finish that week, I get to tell people forever that I accomplished this. It's only 3 hours at a time. So after running 16 miles in 3 hours, I'm done and I could relax. And that's actually one thing that I thought about as I was running. Each step hurt. Each step literally hurt. Yet the second that I was done running, that I was completed with the run and I sat in my car, it didn't hurt anymore. It was only while I was running that I was in physical pain. When I would sit down in my car and I was done, It wouldn't hurt anymore. So every single step I had the choice. I knew that if I just stop, the pain will go away. If I just stop running, the short-term pain will go away. However, if I stop running before I am completed with the run, the short-term pain of my knees and my ankles and hips and feet will go away, but the long-term pleasure or the long-term pain of knowing that I quit will last forever. So ladies and gentlemen, with your life, we all have these grand goals that we want to achieve. It's 2020 now. In 2020, you have goals for your health, goals for your finances, fitness goals, relationship goals. You have all of these things that you want to achieve. Yet, in order to achieve those things, you have to go through some sort of short-term pain. In order to gain the muscle, you have to go through the pain that it takes to build the muscle. It's like that for everything. So each day when I woke up, I realized that it might be a small fraction of my life that I'm going to go through this pain. But if I go through that pain, on the other side is long-term pleasure. If I don't go through that pain and I pick short-term pleasure, if I pick to eat that donut, if I pick to skip the gym, if I pick to watch Netflix instead of doing my homework, if I pick the short-term pleasure, on the other side of short-term pleasure is long-term pain. On the other side of short-term pain is long-term pleasure. So what I realized is that this was a metaphor for my life, in that in order for me to have long-term lasting fulfillment in this life, I have to do the things that are hard, like cold showers, like running 111 miles, like doing the workouts every day, like doing the things that I say that I want to do, doing the things that are congruent with the goals that I want to achieve. And it's the same for you. And if you go through that short-term pain, you will find yourself on the other side living the life that you want to live. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you here with a man who is a lot more inspiring than myself. So hopefully my words inspired you throughout this video, but I will leave you with the words of a man who has inspired me down to my core. And hopefully he can light a fire under you the way that he lit a fire under me. I'll see you guys next time.
What the hell are we all waiting for to start attacking life? We're waiting for the f***ing stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we had this big old rucksack on their back. Had batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the f*** up and do it. Stay hard.